I did not move to Panama for luxury. I moved for peace. I did not retire in Panama. I escaped the stress. The U.S. wasn't killing me, but it was definitely draining me. And Panama didn't change my life. It gave my life back. I didn't want more money. I wanted more life. This is what starting over is supposed to feel like. Some people move for cheaper. I moved to feel human again. And lastly, you don't know how tired you are until you leave.
I just moved to Mexico, like for real, moved to Mexico. And honestly, I don't know when I'm coming back. The goal for 2026 for me is to spend more time outside of the United States than inside of the United States. If you know, you know. And it's always so funny, like when you are from a certain area in the United States, people are like, why would you want to go live in another country? United States is the best thing in the world. Like, why would you want to move away from that? The more time I go outside of the United States, I've been to 3 different countries and have been to multiple cities within those countries. The more I realize when I go outside of the United States, how cooked the United States is. And for example, in Mexico, you don't have to worry about going to a grocery store and worrying about if the food is real or fake. Everything here is real. The fruits are real. The personalities are real. Like the people in the United States, a lot of people are fake because they're worried about looking a certain way. Like I know obviously in certain cities in Mexico and other places, people are probably the same way, but here everything just feels more real, feels more like family. In the United States, everything is like so separated. There's not a sense of community, it feels like. But there's so many different things, and honestly I'm gonna make more videos about this because I think there's like a huge like kind of shift in thinking, and that's why a lot of people are leaving the United States and have been for a long time. So if you're interested in that, follow me.
Living in Thailand, my challenges consist of whether I'm going to cook or if I'm going to walk to the corner and get some good Thai food. So yeah, life as it is not stressful anymore. I mean, besides the regular dealing with my children who don't want to listen to a word that I say, the everyday life challenges that we faced in the States is lifted up from our shoulders the moment we landed on that Bangkok airport.
So I moved out of America for the first time in my life 7 months ago, and all my friends from home now would say I've gotten really liberal since moving to Europe. But the truth is, I've just left America for the first time in my life and started seeing fucking reality. And the truth is, we're being lied to our entire life. Amsterdam is where I live now. Everyone thinks it's like the drug capital of the world. There are no crackheads in Amsterdam. 0 crackheads. You got some alcoholics, but no crackheads. You know why? There's no crack. Other thing, prices in the supermarket are like less than half of what I was used to in New York. Now, I don't mean to sound so like negative and like fuck America. I'm very proud to have been born and raised in New York. But my message today is the propaganda machine you were fed is so much louder than you realize, and the world is so much bigger than your hometown and what the media fucking tells you.
I left America 6 months ago and my life is infinitely better. Let's talk about it. First things first, I've talked about this in other videos, but it cost me around $1,000 to leave the States, which is significantly less money than I ever anticipated. And I think it's a really important thing for everyone to be talking about, that it actually costs a lot less than you might think to leave the US. Since moving abroad, these are the things that have improved in my life. First and foremost, my physical health is infinitely better. Why? The food is better. The air quality is better. I'm happier. I'm less stressed out. Medicine and healthcare is way more affordable. Like, we're talking apples and oranges. People are nicer here because they are happier here. It is significantly easier to cultivate community in a place where people are trusting and loving and empathetic and kind. And I cannot stress this enough. My central nervous system is relaxed and calm for the first time in my life.
That's how much my utilities cost to someone who lives alone in Tokyo, Japan. My water bill was 4,386 yen, and that was for 2 months. My gas and electric was 9,986. That's usually the most expensive one. My phone bill was 4,120, and that is for unlimited data. Then my health insurance was 1,950 yen. So altogether, that's 18,249 yen, or about 114 US dollars. I feel like my internet bill alone in America was like $115.
Okay, so as we wrap this video up, one thing is very clear to me, and judging by everything that I've seen online, I know I'm not the only one noticing it. There are more and more Americans quietly packing up, leaving the United States and starting over in places America once casually labeled as third world countries. And what is interesting is that once they leave, suddenly everyone has something to say about America. You hear it over and over again in these clips, people talking openly about how America drained them financially, mentally, emotionally, how the constant grind, the pressure, the bills, the fear of falling behind, the stress of just surviving became too much. And the most surprising part, many of them say they didn't realize how heavy that stress was until they finally left. One of the biggest things that people keep mentioning is stress relief, real stress relief, not the kind where you take a weekend vacation and come back to the same problems, but the kind where your nervous system actually relaxes, where life slows down just enough for you to breathe again. People are talking about sleeping better, smiling more, feeling human again. That alone make anyone, question everything they've ever known about the US. Another thing that keeps coming up, and this one hits close to home for me, it's the food quality. I've heard so many Americans say that the food in these so-called third world countries is richer, fresher, and more natural. And I can personally say this, the quality and the taste of eggs and chicken in America does not compare to what we have down here. That is not an opinion, guys. That's a fact from my own experience. The difference is clear. The taste is different. The texture is different. The way the food makes your body feel is completely different. So when people talk about health improving after they leave America, it starts to make sense. Less processed foods, less chemicals, more whole natural ingredients. Sometimes what America calls underdeveloped is actually just less industrialized, and that's not always a bad thing. Now let me be clear, because I know how the internet works. Yes, America is a beautiful country, there's no denying that. It has opportunities, innovations, culture, and history, but beauty alone doesn't cancel out exhaustion, and that's what I hear the most. People are tired of the bills, tired of the government, tired of working endlessly just to stay afloat, tired of worrying about money every single day. Yes, people everywhere worry about money. That is life, okay? But according to my research and according to the voices of Americans who actually left, the level of stress tied to money in America is on another level. Healthcare costs, rent, mortgages, student loans, insurance, taxes, emergencies. It's like there's no room to breathe, no room to pause, no room to live without constantly calculating your next expenses. And when people leave that environment, even temporarily, they start to question everything they've ever known. They ask questions. They start to ask, is this really how life is supposed to be? Success is supposed to feel like burnt out. Is stability supposed to feel like fear? Is the so-called American dream worth the constant anxiety? What I found most interesting is that many of these Americans didn't leave because they hated their country. They left because they were searching for peace, for balance, for a life that didn't revolve entirely around survival mode. And when they found it elsewhere, they weren't quite about it. So I will say this. Everyone had something to say about America, but most of it didn't come from outsiders. It came from Americans themselves, people who lived it, people who tried, people who followed the rules and still felt overwhelmed. Now, I'm leaving this here, and I want to hear from you guys. If you're an American currently living abroad. I really want to know, what has your experience been like? Do you agree with what's being said? Has your stress level changed? Has your quality of life improved? Or do you miss America more than you expected? And if you haven't left the country yet, let me ask you this one question. Would you want to travel outside of America, and why? Is it curiosity? Is it financial freedom? Is it peace of mind? Or is it just the desire to experience life differently? This type of conversation, we should be talking more about it. I'm not bashing America, okay? It's about honesty. It's about listening to real experiences. And it is about questioning narratives we've all been taught to accept without challenge. So go ahead, drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about this video, and let's keep this conversation going. I'll see you in my next video. Please stay peaceful.